Loved by some, feared by many, and remembered by all. Idi Amin's rule was as controversial as it was catastrophic. Let's dive into the chilling history of the man known as the Butcher of Uganda. Chapter 1. Idi Amin, Becoming a Soldier. Idi Amin, Dada Omi, was born in 1925 in Koboko, Uganda. His father abandoned the family, and his mother raised him. Amin received little formal education and worked various odd jobs. In 1946, he joined the British colonial army, where he excelled due to his physical strength and loyalty, eventually becoming one of the highest-ranking officers. He served in the King's African Rifles during British colonial rule. Did you know? Amin participated in World War II and the Mau Mau Rebellion in Kenya. He was one of the few Africans to achieve a high rank in the British colonial army due to his athletic and leadership skills. Chapter 2. Idi Amin's Friendship with Milton. While in the army, Amin was involved in smuggling ivory and gold with his close friend, Milton Obote. This marked the beginning of Amin's corrupt and brutal behavior. British officers didn't know about his smuggling activities initially, but when they found out, it was too late. They took no action against Amin because he had become powerful in the military. At the same time, Ugandan people were fighting for independence. In 1962, the British government weakened, leaving a leadership vacuum in Uganda. Milton Obote seized the opportunity and became Uganda's first president on October 9, 1962. As we know, power and money can do anything. In this story, power and money shattered the friendship between Amin and Milton. The close friends became arch-enemies. Chapter 3. Idi Amin becomes a dictator. Due to quarrels with Milton Obote, Amin plotted to kill Uganda's president and seize power. By 1971, while Obote was abroad, Amin staged a military coup and declared himself president of Uganda. Initially, he promised reforms and stability and was well received by the public. However, his rule soon descended into a reign of terror. He played both the West and the Soviet bloc against each other, securing international support through deception. To give a glimpse of Amin's cruelty, he allegedly kept severed heads of his enemies in his refrigerator as a warning to others. Chapter 4. Idi Amin's Massacres and Atrocities. Amin's rule soon turned into a nightmare for Uganda. His paranoid mind saw enemies everywhere, and anyone who opposed him faced torture, imprisonment, or death. An estimated 300,000 to 500,000 people were killed under his rule. He targeted political opponents, religious leaders, journalists, and minority tribes. Victims were beaten, executed by firing squads, or fed to crocodiles. One infamous story: Amin allegedly killed his second wife, Kay Adroa, in a horrifying manner after learning about her affair while she was studying at Makerere University. He reportedly dismembered her body and had her limbs sewn back incorrectly. Her grotesque state became one of the most infamous tales of Amin's cruelty. Chapter 5. Idi Amin's Expulsion of Asians. In 1972, Amin made a shocking decision. He ordered the expulsion of 80,000 Asians from Uganda. He was particularly worried about Asians of Indian descent, who controlled much of Uganda's economy through business and trade. He gave them 90 days to leave, seizing their property and businesses. This decision caused Uganda's economy to collapse, leading to famine and widespread poverty. The economic loss from the expulsion was estimated at $500 million USD. In 1976, Amin further isolated himself by supporting Palestinian terrorists who hijacked an Israeli plane and landed it in Uganda. His relationship with Libya's Muammar Gaddafi and Palestinian groups strained ties with Western countries. Chapter 6. The End of Idi Amin's Reign. Amin's downfall began when he invaded Tanzania in 1978, aiming to annex its northern region. In retaliation, Tanzanian forces, aided by Ugandan exiles, overran his military. In 1979, Amin fled Uganda, first to Libya and later to Saudi Arabia, where he lived in comfortable exile until his death from kidney failure on August 16, 2003. Despite his brutal rule, Amin remained unrepentant until the end. His reign serves as a grim reminder of the horrors of unchecked power, corruption, and human cruelty. Chapter 7. Idi Amin's Legacy and Pop Culture. Idi Amin's reign has been remembered through books, documentaries, and films, highlighting his violent rule and larger-than-life persona. Notable references: A State of Blood by Henry Kayemba, a personal account by a former government minister who witnessed Amin's atrocities firsthand. The Last King of Scotland, 2006. This Oscar-winning film explores Amin's brutality through the fictional lens of a Scottish doctor in his inner circle. Rise and Fall of Idi Amin, 1981. A biographical film depicting Amin's rise to power and eventual downfall, blending historical facts with fictional elements. What do you think? Was Amin purely evil or a product of his time and circumstances? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more historical deep dives.